the Sports Betting Network.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gil Alexander on VSiN.
Hey, it is a numbers game here on a Tuesday, July the 22nd. Matt Brown in for your friend and mine, Gil Alexander. Kelly Bidlin back on the desk as well.
That's right.
How long were you gone?
Oh, 5 days since Thursday. A little Thursday through Monday. Trip to Canada, Matt.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little later. I had a 7-day that feels like it's still going right now.
7 days? Yeah, I did not realize you were gone that long.
Yeah,
okay.
7 days. It was a Monday to Monday that feels like this is still extending right now. Not only my body, but just the time spent in airports and different things yesterday as well. But who says this is the dog days of summer, man? We got a lot of sports stuff going on. There's news popping off left and right.
Yeah, there really is. We got a lot of NFL. We had our training camp week last week, and now training camp's firing up this week, and we got news out of NFL.
Yeah, real news. We're going to talk the AFC South here over the course of the program. Mark Borchard going to join us to talk some baseball, see what he feels about the rest of the season as we've reached kind of that 100-game mark for most of these teams, and then Drew Dinsick going to join us. And, here's the thing about Drew. I don't really even have to tell you what Drew is going to talk about because it could just be anything.
Oh, he's going heavy NFL with us today, I'll tell you. The Deep Dive podcast series, check it out. They are in full force now doing a team a day, Matt, and it is they said they're going to try to keep it under an hour each episode.
Not happening?
Not happening.
It's not happening.
Yeah, not happening. So I know he is.
We might have to give him some grief about that then.
Well, I called him out on day one.
Okay.
I was like, what's the over-under on how many go over? Because I'll take the over.
If you want to reach out to us at Matt Brown M2, at Kelly Bidlin, you can let us know about all of the incredibly smart things that we say today because that's what everyone likes to tell you about.
That's right.
It's how smart. How
what
smart
we screwed up.
Yeah, well, sure. Yeah, maybe we can keep those to a minimum here over the course of the day. Interesting from last night, Dodgers did let Shohei Ohtani throw 46 pitches. So we were kind of wondering when was going to be that next step for him. They did let him throw 46 pitches. He goes 3 innings, gave up 4 hits, including a leadoff home run, actually, and that one to Byron Buxton. He walked 1, he struck out 3, and then he hit a home run of his own in the bottom of the first because that's just what Shohei does. But it seems now they kept saying, we're going to let him ramp up, we're going to let him ramp up, we're going to let him ramp up. It seems that next step of the ramp up has happened now. So wouldn't shock me if we start to see maybe even a 55, 60 pitch limit on him, which could, depending on how efficient he is, actually get him into a 4th inning type situation moving forward in these. And, maybe we're going to start seeing full starts from him sometime in the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, and I think from the betting side of things, when we talk about awards, and you and I are going to talk MVP later on, it's just I think I always held back the thought of, maybe he doesn't pitch enough this year, that they're going to do the whole Nikola Jokic argument where we could give it to him any year. Let's keep our minds open to somebody else this year. And if he starts ramping up pitching, I don't know, it might get a little bit more solidified.
Yeah, and I mean, from the betting standpoint and all of this is the fact that if you wanted to poke a hole in anything with the Dodgers, it's just the fact they've had so many pitching injuries, and you could just say like, okay, well, there's their weakness if there is a weakness, but they are basically in the process of getting a starter back right now. Yep. And you got to remember the ramp up here because he wasn't able to do rehab starts because if he went down to AAA, then he's not in the lineup hitting. So it's like you can't afford to send him down to make rehab starts. He's got to be in the lineup. So that's why we're kind of getting all these little abbreviated starts going here. The Brewers have won 11 straight games. They blanked the Mariners 6-0 last night. They now have a 1-game lead over the Cubs there, and the best winning percentage in Major League Baseball. There are a couple of other 60-win teams, but they are 60-40, where the other ones are 60-41 or 60-42. So the best winning percentage in all of baseball.
Yeah, how about that? You go away for a few days, and whoa, here comes the Brewers all of a sudden as the talk of Major League Baseball. Plus 105 right now to win the NL Central. You and I are going to do a little done or not done yet with MLB Division's next segment. We'll see.
Yeah, some NFL news, like we said, is just coming hot and heavy right now, and not great for Cincinnati Bengal backers overall. If you bet on this team to, hey, listen, the offense is going to be good enough to outscore a bunch of teams, and you know what? Hey, you still got Trey Hendrickson. You went out, you drafted Shamar Stewart. He's a defensive end. Maybe they can plug some of those holes that you saw. Tons of deficiencies on the defensive side last year for the Cincinnati team, but I think they can get to 10 wins. I think maybe they can make the playoffs at -150. Well, neither one of those guys are showing up right now. Trey Hendrickson, things falling apart with him and his contract negotiations. Of course, one of the best defensive ends there is in all of the NFL. He is a guy that was looking to get extended, looking to get what he thinks he deserved. And then first-round pick Shamar Stewart's the only first-round holdout currently, Kelly Bidlin. And the reason is it's not over money. It's because he wants his contract guaranteed if he does something wrong, which I'm kind of like going, bro.
Red flag?
Bro.
Red flag?
Yes. The sticking point in the negotiations is a dispute over the language in Stewart's rookie contract pertaining to potential conduct detrimental to the team that would void guaranteed money. So, yeah, I'm sitting there in the negotiations going, hey, man, why are you so hung up on this? Like, you planning on doing something detrimental to the team? Like, are you being serious?
That's always my holdup in negotiations here, Matt. It's like, well, how much can I screw up, right?
Yeah. I'm actually not re-signing here with VSiN because I might go out and do something terrible to the company. Like, I mean, what do you mean? What is going on with all of this? And, Mike Brown, the president, came out and, he didn't mince words. He was just like, this seems like foolishness to me. Like, he's getting bad advice from people around him. Something's going on. This language is in every contract for rookies, and Cincinnati was one of the last ones to put it into these rookie contracts. And so this isn't even out of the ordinary. This is something that is just a pretty standard deal in these rookie contracts, and for whatever reason, he's hung up on this.
All of this is so Cincinnati, though. You're going to be lucky enough to have had Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, and what's it going to end up like? Trey Hendrickson, he's just trolling this team right now. Are you kidding me? Did you see the Instagram pictures? He's just Instagramming that he's in Florida. He got in his car. They're supposed to report today. Just got in his car and drove to Florida.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. That's how bad things have gotten with that relationship.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a team you know how much I love Joe Burrow and everything. It was a team that I avoided when it came to betting anything other than him personally. Like, I mean, I bet him as Offensive Player of the Year. You could find that in our NFL betting guide. And the reason is the number was so incredibly long, and he might put up numbers that we've never seen. I mean, he led the league in yards and touchdown passes last year as it was anyway. With the state of this defense, but still having what they have on offense, we could be talking about a 5,000-plus yard season, throwing for more touchdowns than he did even last year, doing all of the things that normally would put you in an MVP conversation, but this team is going to be hovering around 500 or worse. And so I know this has been a de facto award in which you give it to a non-quarterback, the MVP goes to a quarterback, and then you get the Offensive Player of the Year to a non-quarterback. But I think Burrow could put himself in the conversation just with the volume and numbers of stuff that he's going to be putting up.
So I thought it was fascinating. Again, the VSiN NFL betting guide out now. Get that. College football betting guide coming soon. I think it was interesting reading that you made that bet because I think we've all gotten to that point where, okay, Offensive Player of the Year, best position player, right? We're going to go MVP. MVP will be a quarterback. It didn't always used to be that way, though, and it wasn't all that long ago. And I actually think Burrow was that first guy in a long time, a year ago, where you were like, how are you not considering this type of player in this type of season for an Offensive Player of the Year? 50-1, I think it's a great bet.
Well, we came around on this in Major League Baseball, right, where we gave up on wins. Jacob deGrom basically broke the Cy Young Award because it was like, okay, listen, this dude is incredible. He can't go hit. He cannot score runs for his team. We just have to look at what this guy is doing, and if he is the best pitcher in baseball, no matter what the team's record is, then so be it, and we're going to vote him that way. I think hopefully NFL, and I'm not saying that Joe Burrow is going to win the award for sure or should win the award even if he puts up those numbers. Who knows if Saquon does again what he did and all that. Of course, all these guys are going to be in the conversation, but the number attached to Burrow at this point is so large that if he can throw for 5,000 plus and throw for more touchdowns than he did last year and basically prove I would be in the MVP conversation if this team wasn't middling, then maybe these guys can come around on something like that. I do want to touch on a Major League Baseball game. I put in the account just one for me today, but I am on the under in the Tigers and the Pirates. Pirates are dead last in Major League Baseball and weighted on base, Kelly, over the last 3 weeks, and it's not just a little bit, it's by a ton. They have a 240 weighted on base, and the next closest team is 274. Whoa. So that just to let you know how bad this team hits the baseball. They're also last in OPS, last in ISO, fourth highest K rate, fourth lowest walk rate, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You get it, the Pirates can't hit the ball. Tigers, on the other hand, are been in a bit of a funk themselves over the last 3 weeks. They're actually in the bottom 5 or 10 in most of all of those categories that I just mentioned as well. So I'm kind of going here on two teams that are not hitting the ball very well. And then let's go to the guys on the mound. And Mitch Keller, a guy that Yeah, he gets overshadowed on his own team by Paul Skeens, but he's actually had a really, really good season. And if you look at his last 5 starts, which is probably going to end up getting him traded here at the trade deadline, 1.76 ERA that's actually backed up by a 3.30 xERA, a 3.37 FIP. And he's actually, if you want to poke holes, giving up a lot of fly balls, but PNC Park doesn't really penalize you all that much for giving up a bunch of fly balls. And as we know, if you can give up fly balls and they're not home runs, then you can do really, really well because fly balls either leave the park or they get caught. So it's a really good thing for him as long as he can control that home run stuff. And then Casey Mize has just been really, really good over the course of the season as well. Got a little roughed up here of late, but if you just look at his last 5 starts, which is, we take a bigger sample size, baseball's weird, 3.58 ERA backed up by a 3.33 xERA. So his advanced and projections are actually better than what we've seen on the surface. 3.6% walk rate, which is just absolutely tiny, and that's still while having a 280 BABIP against. So it's not like he's just running on the right side of variance either there for Casey Mize. So 2 teams not hitting the ball very well, 2 pitchers that are throwing the ball pretty well. So let's play the under in the Tigers and the Pirates.
Like it. That one checks out to me.
You're like, yeah, yep, there we go. That sounds real good. Okay, Steph Diggs. We said there should be lots of little nuggets that are going to be coming out throughout the course of the day. These can help you if you are handicapping these teams as well. Steph Diggs cleared for full participation in training camp. It was week 8 when he blew his knee out, so he's had a decent amount of time to get ready. And, listen, a team in the Patriots that I actually have felt pretty good about their offseason, weirdly enough. And so I think the Patriots are an interesting team.
Oh, man, this one is a tough one. There are a lot of tough teams in the NFL this year, man. I can't get on with the Patriots hype yet. Got to prove it to me a little bit. I need more quarterback proof.
You didn't like what you saw in Drake May?
I liked what I saw.
Okay, well, I'll make you a believer by the end of the show. How about that?
Okay.
When we come back, though, done or not done yet, Major League Baseball division.
What's the guarantee?
Eric? Mike, time to make history.
Players in Circa Million make 5 picks against the spread each week with quarterly and full season payouts.
Circa Survivor entries choose one team each week with no point spread. The last one standing wins it all.
We have $21 million on the line. Are you in? Visit circasports.com for details.
So, Paulie, have you had a chance to read the VSiN Daily yet?
Yeah. Came in at 3 a.m. What's Bill doing up that late?
Well, rumor has it starts off with a 12-hour meditation session.
Then he just pours himself over film and live TV, really focusing and taking it all in. Bill's in with the biggest insiders, talking trade secrets, strategies, the whole 9, absorbing the info.
And then and only then can the writing process begin.
In Las Vegas, Bill's late night becomes your early morning. Wake up to the very latest betting insights in your inbox with the VSiN Daily. Sign up for free at vsin.com/newsletter.
Coming up on the next edition of Follow the Money, we'll talk to Derek Stevens, owner of Circa Slottapalooza and the Open Bar 7-9, a huge success. Plus also the fights in UFC that went on. Jeff Seeley will give out his best bets for the golf tournament, and Will Hill to talk futures in the NFL and also a couple bad beats he suffered. Follow the Money 4 to 7 Eastern on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, now Sirius XM Channel 158. Check out the website for all the betting tools and analysis, or get the VSiN Watch app.
The Numbers Game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
The Numbers Game here on a Tuesday. Matt Brown in for Gil Alexander. Kelly Bidlin, my buddy and yours, here on the desk with me. There is a 45-year-old Rich Hill making a start today.
That ought to be fun to watch.
For the Kansas City Royals going up against the Cubs. He will tie Edwin Jackson for the most franchises played in Major League Baseball with 14. So he's nearly ticked off half the league.
Pretty
14
good.
different teams.
What sport does that happen the most in? The NBA?
Probably, but it's guys, though, that, like, you don't really, because they're, like, into bench players that'll sign and you don't even realize. Like, you could ask, we're in a sports book, and you could go ask, like, 20 different people out there whether Kevin Love was still in the league or not. Right. And then they wouldn't even know, but it's like, yeah, he plays like 2 minutes a night, on 8 different teams that he's been on the past few years. He's the first pitcher 45 or older to pitch in the majors since Bartolo Colon in 2018. Oh, Bartolo Colon, how we miss him.
Yeah, for real.
He was just a walking highlight, especially when he stepped in the batter's box.
Rich Hill made his debut 20 years ago. There we go.
I mean, he was not even having that good of a season down in AAA, which why he was playing AAA baseball is beyond me. A dude that must like hate being at home.
He loves baseball, man. That dude loves baseball.
Absolutely hates being at home. Like his kids just hate him. He hates them. Like there's something going on with all that. But 45 years old playing in AAA. Like he had like a 5 ERA down in AAA. He was like, yeah, it's fine.
Rich Hill debuted the same year I graduated high school. That's where we're at this point.
Yeah. And he's going to pitch tonight, and that'll be his 14th different Major League Baseball team if you want to tune in there to that one. So, guys, of course, VSiN.com is where you want to be. Head on over there. Each and every day, new articles up over on the site. You can get Zach Cohn's tennis picks today. Greg Peterson's got his best bets over there for Major League Baseball. We got the prop analyzer tools as well, 3 different ones of those. And then later today, you'll get Wes Reynolds' article on the Golf 3M Open. We are going to be talking about that a little later as well on Long Shots podcast, free wherever your podcasts are. There's Lou Finicaro, UFC best bets for him as well, and then Steve Mackin with his analytics report. All that over there on VSiN.com. And if you want to join up with us for all of the pro stuff, VSiN.com/subscribe. Only $175 now through the Super Bowl. Okay, Kelly Bidlin, it is Major League Baseball. About 100, 101, 102 games in for these teams, and so we are starting to figure out as the trade deadline gets here, are any of these teams done or not done yet? Because we're about to get some movement on some of these teams for sure. Mm-hmm. And like there are going to be guys that are going to be on the move. And I just mentioned Mitch Keller, who's going to be pitching tonight. He is very, very likely to get traded from the Pirates. They need anything they can get at this point, right? I mean, that team is just so bad. And so try to figure out what's going on here. And we look over at the NL Central, in which we just mentioned an 11-game win streak for the Milwaukee Brewers now has them in the lead in that division over the Cubs. They are sitting 60-40, while the Cubs are 59-41. St. Louis Cardinals find themselves 8.5 games back. The Reds 8.5 games back as well. And we know the Pirates are definitely done, so we will say done on that one for sure. I'm going to go with not only the not done yet, but that this one could get squirrely. This Reds team is a team that had several, not only injuries at the beginning of the year, but they also had some guys really, really vastly underperforming. Now, that does not mean that they are going to turn it around in the last 60 games of the season, but if they do, I think that we could be looking at a Reds team that could put together not one of these 11-game win streaks like the Brewers, but if we looked up and saw like, oh man, this Reds team's won 7 of the last 10, and then you look up another little stretch down the road and they're like, oh, okay, another 7 of the last 10 stretch for this Reds team. So I think not only is it not done yet, but I think a third team could get into the mix, and it might be the Reds.
Wow. Okay, there we go. That's this one definitely not done yet. This is where we have the classic Brewers a game in front, still the dog in the division. Mm-hmm. We'll see how that winning streak keeps going, but this one clearly wide open. I'll throw some of these other ones at you. We'll kind of just go through down the list. NL East, we have the Phillies as a -150 favorite. Matt Brown, is this division done or not done yet?
Well, we know the Mets are going to spend, so that is one of the things that we know. They're going to go and they're going to try to shore up what they have from a deficiency standpoint. Likely both New York teams are going to be super active at the trade deadline, so I'm going to say, not only going to say not done yet, but I'm going to say you're looking at this Phillies team that They're a little bit older. They're awesome. Like when they're all out there, they're awesome. And of course, Zach Wheeler, we'll talk about him a little bit later as well. One of the best pitchers in baseball, if not the best pitcher in baseball, but they're just a little bit older. And so I think that you're still 60 more games to go. You're going to have to run on the right side of variance from an injury standpoint in order to kind of keep this lead. So definitely not done yet, and certainly one of those where I think if somebody wanted to tell me they wanted to put something in on the Mets, knowing that they're going to be active at the trade deadline as well, kind of betting on the come, I think that would be perfectly fine.
Marlins, Braves, we ready to write their seasons off completely?
Braves for sure.
Okay.
Braves for sure. Braves are like the talk now is they're going to start getting rid of some of these dudes because like they know that this season is done for them. So they're going to be looking to, I think Marcell Ozuna is going to be on the move. I know that Ozzie Albies has at least been mentioned as a guy that some teams have inquired about as to whether they would be willing to part with him. So I think that the Braves are going to be sellers here at the deadline, so definitely done for them.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of Braves to make the playoff tickets going in the garbage.
Yeah.
That one we heard a lot early on. That is for sure. Okay, this one might be the quickest conversation. NL West, done or not done yet?
Yeah,
Your Dodgers are minus 1,000 favorites.
You know what's funny though? They're only 3.5 games up.
I know.
on the Padres, but like we said,
this has been all year though.
Yeah, they are actually trending in the right direction as opposed to some of what we saw at the beginning of the year, in which like, man, we're going. The reason we kept questioning this team, we're like, how many of these injuries can they actually overcome? And now they're getting healthier, looking a little bit better. If they need to, we know they are not afraid to make moves. They will definitely make some sort of move if they feel that it's necessary. So I will say done on this one, despite the fact that the Padres are only 3.5 games back.
Look forward to Mark Borchard next segment making a case for the Diamondbacks still being alive. He is. I think he's finally backed down for that, but I don't.
Yeah, he's going to need to now because if you read all the trade rumor stuff, it's basically they're shipping the whole team out. I mean, like the whole team is leaving. Like, I mean, they're like best 2 starters. Naylor's gone. Like they're just like everybody's gone.
Yeah, we'll ask him about that next segment. All right, AL East, heading over to the AL now. Blue Jays minus 105 favorites. Is this division done or not done yet, Matt Brown?
So Cashman came out and he said the Yankees will do every single thing that they have to get better at the deadline. Let's
go Yanks.
You rarely hear like this frank of an answer, which was like, we're going to go get at least 1 starter, maybe 2. We're going to get at least a reliever, maybe 2. We're going to get an infield bat. Like he was letting you know, like this is the playbook and this is exactly what we're going to do. Might have driven the price up maybe on some of these guys. I don't know why he said all of that out loud, but the Yankees are going to be very, very, very active. And if that's the case, if they can go out and get to the problem with the Yankees, and remember, for people that were with us in the offseason here, I have a Yankees to miss the playoffs ticket, so I actually hope that this doesn't work out for them. That would be great for me.
Oh, Oppo. I got on the Yankees just at the right time a couple weeks ago at minus 220 to win the division, and that price has just gotten longer and longer and longer, so yeah.
Yeah, I have a to miss the playoffs, mainly because I didn't like their starting pitching. I knew they would make a move. I knew they'd make some sort of move at the trade deadline, but I didn't know if it would be enough. They've gotten enough out of these guys to where if they are able to go get one of the arms, I mean, listen, they're going to be tied just like every other team. If the Marlins actually want to move Sandy Alcantara, that he's going to be, he would be a name that I can't imagine they wouldn't be interested in to bring in, even though it seems like he's been broken this season. So I'm going to say not dead yet, but man, this Blue Jays team, they just refuse to go away. And I'll tell you, the Red Sox are lurking. The Red Sox are lurking.
I was just going to ask you about that. I mean,
the Red Sox are lurking.
That's a 12-1 price on the Sox that are not that far behind with still plenty of time to go.
That's the bet to make. Like that's the bet.
Is Sox to win the division?
That's the bet to make in this division.
That's a long number.
Yeah, it's the bet to make in this division for sure. Like the talent is there with this Red Sox team. They've got some front-end pitching, and maybe they decide, you know what? This is as vulnerable as the Yankees feel like they're going to be. We're not scared of the Blue Jays at all, and maybe they get super, super aggressive.
Yeah, I like that. All right, over to the AL West. AL Central's done. I'm calling it. I'm going to call it. Okay, Tigers done. AL West. Astros minus 320 favorites in the West. Done or not done yet, Matt Brown?
There is going to be a lot of people who want to continue to make the case for the Mariners. And what Cal Raleigh's been doing is unreal. But the deal is he plays catcher, and the reason we don't see really, really good hitting catchers anymore is because they either move them off of catcher because they're like, hey, we want to protect this guy, and so we move them to they go to first base, they go to third base, whatever it might be, or they just break down over the course of the season. And I know they rotate him in, and he does he DHs and different stuff like that, but I just can't imagine he's going to be on that torrid pace that he was at the beginning of the year. And he kind of lifted all the rest of that offense because when they would get on, he just kept launching homers, right? I mean, like, that was his thing. He just kept on knocking it out of the park. I think this Astros team is by far the best team in that division. I think the Mariners are the team that is likely to disappoint the most over this last little stretch of the season. So, Dunzo, it's the Astros. Book it.
Mariners to miss the playoffs, plus 165.
I would bet it. I might bet it, actually. When we go on break, but here's the deal. We always talk about these bets that we would make on the break, and then you forget about them because you start doing other things.
That's why you got to have a list of bets to make.
Kelly and his list.
You got to have a list.
Mark Borchard on Pro Baseball when we come back.
They're off.
Gear up for football season the sharp way with a VSiN Pro subscription. Right now, grab our football special for just $175. An early bird deal that gives you full VSiN access through the Super Bowl. That includes our NFL betting guide, loaded with team previews, power ratings, and season-long best bets. Plus, pro picks sent to your inbox daily, betting splits from DraftKings and Circa, live shows on the VSiN Watch app, and so much more. Don't wait. Sign up now at VSiN.com/subscribe and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Numbers game here on a Tuesday. Matt Brown in for Gil Alexander. Kelly Bidlin on the desk with me. And Wyatt let us know something very, very important from behind the glass that we have to get to before we talk to Mark Borchard, because this could happen tonight.
It could.
And for all of you out, well, actually, it's been going for years and years. I was going to say, for all of you out there in Wisconsin that didn't know about this, but you all know about this. So, you know, but you do have a reason to root even harder for the Brewers tonight. I'm
just trying to make sure I get the names right, because I've never even heard of the restaurant, okay?
All right, go ahead.
If they hit 12 wins, George Webb.
In a row. Thank you. Not
in
just
a row.
12. They would have already gotten there. Yes. If it was just 12
They would have gotten there, confirmed.
Yeah.
12 wins in a row at any point. Get free burgers at George Webb. So they are right on the brink of that. How many times? I don't have no idea how long this has been running. I just pulled up an article. Couldn't find that part on it, Matt. But they've only had to do this twice, dating back to 1987. 2018 and 1987. The only times they've ever had to do this before.
Well, they must feel really good because they got the Miz on the hill tonight for them. So
that's right.
Their new glorious 6'8" guy that throws 100. So that's got to feel pretty good if you're trying to get your win to get a free burger.
Oh, who was it? Now I'm thinking. Oh, what Miz? What a moment you have tonight. You already have created so many fans in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
This would really drive home. Remember Boban? What was it? Boban missing the free throws on purpose to get the free chicken sandwiches?
And honestly, is this not like the perfect opportunity for him to also get like a sponsorship or something from that?
Sponsorship.
Like, he gets it. Yeah, I mean, he gets them the free burgers, and the next you know, he's in the commercials and all that. It's like, this is it. This is his moment. This is his moment.
Hit us up on Twitter if you need more management help, okay,
it's
Miz?
It's not a playoff game. It's not a World Series game, Miz. It's getting the free burgers for your people tonight. This is your moment. None of those are your moment.
People care as much about that sometimes as others. People love free stuff. Doesn't matter what it is.
You know him. You love him. He's here on the program all the time at Base Winner on the Twitter machine. He is Mark Borchard. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, Matt. How are you guys doing over there?
Rocking and rolling, sitting here finding out that you get free hamburgers tonight if they get a win, if you're a Brewers fan. I mean, all kinds of stuff going on in Major League Baseball.
No, it's cool. I wonder if Gil's over there.
Days, you know?
I wonder if Gil's over there with his 200 days of vacation that they give him.
Gil's there tonight. He's just swinging by for the free burgers, and then he's going somewhere else. Yeah, he's just swinging by on the Alexander jet.
He's been camped out in front of one for 3 days. That's what I heard. Yeah.
All right, Mark. So we want to get some plays into people's accounts tonight, and you are looking at the Dodgers.
Yeah, I have a parlay going with the first five, and last night it just. This is so true. I think about a lot of people who handicap, and Matt, I've been doing this a long time, but I fall into the same trap. And so I had Skeens yesterday, I had Wheeler yesterday, and it just felt good to bet on them. So today, and I think the math kind of supports this too. In all seriousness, I'm going to go with DeGrom and Yamamoto on a first five parlay. It doesn't pay a lot; it pays about even money. But if you look at the metrics. For these guys, I really like, I use the location metrics a lot, and their location metrics, both guys, DeGrom and Yamamoto, are in the 98th percentile, or DeGrom's in the 99th percentile, and Yamamoto's in the 97th percentile on this metric. They call it location plus. And I think a lot of people are familiar with it. Sarris does it at the Athletics. It's on Fangraphs. It's a metric that I like to use when it's a shorter time frame. So I look at last 30 days location. Those guys' numbers are really good. And then Yamamoto, his BBK, which is a metric I use, I like to play guys that are like maybe 0.2 or below. He hasn't been able to use that as much, but he's 0.32. Is still better than Woods Richardson, who's at 0.54, who he's facing tonight. And then DeGrom is like he's at 0.15, which is elite. So if it's 0.20 or less with a BBK, he's elite. So anyway, two elite pitchers on the first five. And I think interestingly enough with this Dodgers game, Matt, is I think that the Twins can lose the first five and then win the game. The bullpen for the Twins is my best in baseball. So maybe that'll happen. And there's I think that to do that it's like 11-1. That's another idea you can get there.
Yeah, Mark, I think because DeGrom has not been putting up these superhuman numbers of the 40+% K rate with a 3% walk rate and all that we saw in years past that people have. He's kind of flown under the radar a little bit, but he's having a very, very, very good season for good pitchers. I understand he was in this elite category that, for 4 or 5 years in a row where we were just like, okay, this might be the greatest pitcher we've ever seen in our lives, but he's still having an awesome season.
Yeah, for sure. And it's interesting, and this is really hard to quantify, and it makes it difficult as a handicapper because it's kind of an intangible, but there's information out there that he didn't want to strike out as many people this year. He was trying to pitch more to contact. And so how do you quantify that? Well, I don't think you really can. But, his strikeout percentage this year is good. It's 28.3%, which is the 95th percentile. So I definitely think that I still, at least personally, Matt, I still have that good feeling about betting him on a first 5. And sometimes that's good. Sometimes it's good to feel good about your bet, Matt.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I still enjoy watching him pitch. I understand he doesn't want to throw 100 anymore, which seems weird, but I think he realized that, like, oh, this is not human and this is tearing my body up. So, it's like he's coming in. He's only throwing 95, 96 guys. It's like, and he's only throwing that.
But it's a really good point, though. I'm glad we're talking about it because it's hard to quantify. Because if we're like, oh, he lost his velocity, well, maybe he's not pitching as hard as he can. So that's tough as you're a real technical guy like me, and I know you are too. You're really good with the numbers as well, Matt. So if you're real technical, it's like, gosh, and it makes it so hard because you want to be objective and as linear as possible. And so something like that, you just got to say, well, from a subjective standpoint, the math says it's a good play, and from subjectively, it's a good play too. So I think we have that on our side for that parlay, Matt.
Let's head to this evening. We got the Astros on the road at the Diamondbacks. They are minus 120-ish out there. Favorites on the road, about even money on the Diamondbacks, 8.5 on the full game total. How are you looking at this one?
Yeah, it's an interesting line move. It started, Houston was minus 130, and now they are minus 113, and I still have Valdez on the mound. Is that who you have, Matt?
Yeah, Valdez against Rodriguez.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that's a huge gap in pitching, starting pitching, and I'm really high on the Diamondbacks. I've been high on the Diamondbacks all year. But you have the gap in the pitching. I've got Valdez 18th in my ratings and Erod at 88. So there's a huge gap there. But the bullpen really, we talked about the number 1 bullpen with the Twins. Well, the number 2 bullpen is the Astros, and then this Arizona bullpen is a mess. It really is. And the highest it's been rated over the last 30 days is 18th. But today, as it stands, it's 27th in baseball. And I think that's an overcome. I think the D-backs have a big offensive edge, and I think that pitching edge is so great. I think it should be priced like maybe minus 145-ish or so. So I think that Astros was coming from me, who is just super bullish on the Diamondbacks, is saying a lot. So I think the Astros is a decent play today.
Yeah, Mark, we talked a bit about divisions last segment. Wanted to circle back with you on the Diamondbacks. Plus 450 at this point to make the playoffs. Are we are we done with Arizona for the season? Is that no shot of that getting home?
You guys are asking such great questions. It's amazing when the cat's away, the mice are asking good questions. But, so this is a good question because from a math, from a simulation, run the Monte Carlos, and it's 38% they're going to make the playoffs. So that would be a good price. But who knows what they're going to do as far as getting rid of. There's 2 key guys there, Suarez and Naylor. And they may – Suarez wants to stay here. So maybe he'll stay. I hope he stays as a Diamondbacks fan. But it's dependent on if they lose those guys. But, they're talking about, well, Zach Gallen's, he's trade bait. Well, get rid of this guy. He's been awful this year. So I don't think that's going to really affect them. Kelly's the other guy who's been pretty good. He's about 20% better than an average pitcher. So from the math, the way the teams stand out right now, that is a good play for D-backs to make the playoffs. But you have to use intangibles or trade. This is hard for a guy who's objective. Like, what are these guys going to do? It's like handicapping injuries. So you can do all the math and stuff, but who knows what these guys are going to do? And I think it's tough. I think it's tough for us to. And if anybody says, "Well, I know this guy's going to go, and I know this team's going to get him," I think they're full of BS personally, because it's tough. Sometimes the teams don't even know what they're going to do, Kelly.
Yeah, Mark, Kelly asked the question I was going to ask here, and just in the final 30 seconds is as you kind of run these rest of season simulations and things like that, are you just grinding the rumors and stuff out there as well? And how do you put that into the model? Because like you said, the Diamondbacks are rumored to get rid of everyone, right? They're going to be sellers. These teams going to be a buyer. This team going to be a seller. You know the Yankees are going to buy. Feels like the Mets are going to buy. Do you put in some sort of factor to maybe give them an extra game or two along the way, or do you just have to go with what you know?
I run the simulations based on what's going on right now. So I think before I make a bet, though, you have to consider that sort of thing. But like, for instance, the Cubs versus the Dodgers in the best record market, I think the Cubs are value there. Are they going to get affected, each team, by the trade deadline? Probably. Well, the Dodgers, maybe they'll get a little bit better. But I still think, even considering that, you run the model with the math and then you make a subjective decision. And I think that's a good bet, the Cubs to have the best record, guys.
He is Mark Borchard at Base Winner over on the Twitter machine. Appreciate the time, Mark, and good luck.
Thanks, Matt. Take it easy.
When we come back, we got some interesting news coming out of Cincinnati that doesn't involve defensive ends. We'll talk about that when we come back.
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons. It's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim is the only thing like it in the world.
Elevate your sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup. Then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to vsin.com/pro to join VSiN, the sports betting network.
VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Numbers game here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Matt Brown, Kelly Bidlin here. George Webb Corporation is an American chain of 31 lunch counter-style restaurants in the state of Wisconsin.
I'm texting Wyatt right now.
There's 31 of them in the state of Wisconsin.
Texting Wyatt right now because we need a much more detailed report on this. We'll have it by the final segment of the show. This is a much bigger deal than I even thought it was.
Serving made-to-order breakfast, hamburgers and sandwiches, soups, chili, and premium blends of coffee.
The note that I just caught is they've been running this promotion for over 80 years.
Well, it was founded in 1948, where George Webb opened his first George Webb and Sons lunch counter on the corner of Ogden and Van Buren Streets in Milwaukee.
George Webb's been fading the Brewers for 80 years.
So people now know the history of George Webb, and if anything else comes up, we'll let you know as well. I did tease that there was some more information coming out of Cincinnati that actually had some betting implications as well. And if you want to remember this by the time that preseason does roll around, hopefully you will. So they asked about the slow start. You know, Zach Taylor sitting there after he'd fielded probably 50 different questions about what he was going to do at defensive end over the course of the season. Then they did ask about the slow starts for his teams, in which, Kelly, he did come out and say that they have decided they are going to play their starters a lot more in the preseason this year. So
let me just make that note real
that's
quick.
kind of one of the things that we handicap when betting preseason games is how much of the starters we're going to get. And at least as of July the 22nd, we are being told that the Bengals are going to play their starters a whole lot more.
Man, that is fascinating.
Yeah.
This is fascinating for a couple reasons because, yes, they've been bad out of the gates. Tip of the cap to everybody else that has lost survivor entries and how many thousands of dollars that we've lost in survivor entries. Thank you, Cincinnati Bengals, over the past couple years. He's been saying all offseason, we need to get off to better starts. Mm-hmm. Everybody's heard the records. They're pitiful of what they've been the first few weeks of the season. But, man, preseason, and I think you and I are usually on the same page with this stuff, Matt. Yeah, the extra reps aren't going to hurt. But you've got some really, really high-priced, Lamborghinis that are on that offense. Is this a quote to say more about guys that are not named Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and stuff like that?
I would think
that too.
I would think, but who knows, man? Zach Taylor is a guy that I can't trust, and so who knows? If we're going to look it up, Joe Burrow's playing 3/4 of a game. We're going to be slamming like our fists against the televisions and stuff and everything.
That's what, if we're going to go as far to say that, no, it's crazy. Game one of the preseason, I'm not seeing Joe Burrow in the third quarter. There's no way that's happening. Mm-hmm. I'm going to call BS on that part, but he also didn't clarify that. Didn't clarify that. Could the starting offensive line be playing more? Sure.
But a note to at least to remember as we head into the preseason here, and we just talked about this, and it's coming through right now. Blue Jays interested in Mitch Keller.
Okay.
In the trade market, according to the rumor mill.
That
is out there.
Much like you said about the Red Sox too, right? Blue Jays got to be thinking the same way. Mm-hmm. Right? Yankees are down. We're up on the Red Sox right now. This team was kind of written off this year. Heading into the season, it sure felt like I've been hearing about the baby Jays for 5 years and how great they were going to be, and this was finally the year we didn't believe in them. Now you got a shot. Go out there and make a move.
Go out and do it. And like I said, Mitch Keller's actually been good. It doesn't show in the win-loss record, but it shouldn't. Scotty Scheffler wins by 4 strokes. You and I were not in yesterday, so a quick little final thought here of the Open Championship. We talk about this on Long Shots every single week. As long as Scotty Scheffler's in the field, he is the favorite to win. There's a reason why the number is so short next to his name. He is the best golfer in the world by a long shot right now, and I know a whole bunch of people hate to bring up the whole Tiger conversation. I think it is much closer and much more of a real conversation than people want to have because of the depth of golf right now, and comparatively to what Tiger had to go up against each and every week. There are about 4 or 5 guys in the field that actually could compete with Tiger at that point, whereas we're probably 30, 40 guys deep right now in golf. They could tee it up and get after Scotty Scheffler. Yep. So that said, wins by 4. Harris English is your outright second. Chris Goddard, who's having himself a season,
he's having himself a past 6 weeks or whatever. That's for sure.
Outright third, and then you start to see some familiar names in Wyndham Clark, Matt Fitzpatrick, Robert McIntyre, Xander Schauffele, Rory McIlroy, Bryson DeChambeau, who absolutely tore it up over the final 3 rounds, but that doesn't matter.
Blew up a matchup or two for me. Yep.
Yeah. Bryson DeChambeau, Corey Connors, Russell Henley. These are all, again, and kind of under the radar because they didn't show any of his shots. But Ricky Fowler was T14, 8 under over there. Ricky Fowler getting up there pretty good. And a nice little day to finish things out for Hideki Matsuyama. He finishes in the top 20 as well. And, of course, Tommy Fleetwood. Of course he's going to finish in the top 20. I mean, of course he is.
It wasn't looking that great, though, for most of the tournament.
But I'm saying, of course
there we go,
he is.
Tommy.
But, of course he is. That's just what Tommy Fleetwood is going to do. So, for me, actually a winner because I had placement market bets on all the dudes that I had you talk about for me on long shots or whatever. But, yeah, so decent little tournament for me. But if Scotty enters – if Scotty's heading into a third round with a multiple stroke lead, he's going to win the tournament.
Yeah, look, this is a major. I think you're the same way I am. I bet a little bit more. Usually have a little more outright bets when it comes to majors because we've been loading up on numbers that we think are going to get a little bit shorter weeks ahead of time. So, look, outright market was a disaster, but overall clean sweep at top 20s. Fleetwood, Schauffele, Fitzpatrick, Henley all get home. Nice plus numbers. Tournament matchups were good. And, yeah, tune into Long Shots. We'll be doing recording later today. But we talk about this often, right? It is Scheffler, when he's in the field, you just got to watch out how you're betting tournaments and how you're going to attack the outright market because, man, he's good at golf. He is good at golf, man. I got some of the numbers. First 25 major starts from Jamie Kennedy. I saw him put this out yesterday. Tiger had 6 wins in his first 25 major starts and 1 miscut, which is just absurd. It's 4 for Scotty Scheffler. He has more top 10s than Tiger's, more top 25s than Tiger, and he does have 3 miscuts, though.
Yeah, those were back when he wasn't good.
Back when he wasn't good. To your point, though, the numbers, when you go Scheffler, I mean, I'll go even further, right? Scheffler, Tiger, Jack, Arnold, they're pretty close together when you're looking at numbers like that.
Yeah, it is just, it's pretty crazy. And again, long way to go for him so long as he doesn't get injured. I mean, like, the way he strikes the ball is just ridiculous. He's long enough off the tee, and then if he can make putts, you're going to lose. That's just all there's to it. Like, you're going to lose. And that's kind of where we're at.
25 major starts, 16 top 10s.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And that's the thing. And again, like at the very beginning of his career, the biggest difference, though, between Tiger and him is Tiger was just good right out of the gate.
Yeah.
And Scheffler needed a couple of years to kind of get it going with all of that. Before we get into the 3M Open, guys, just a reminder, Profit X is a betting exchange. Peer-to-peer means you're betting against guys like me and Kelly as opposed to the book itself. So you can go in, give it a download, use a promo code VSiN, and earn up to $200 in profit cash over your first month. It is in 40-plus states out there. And again, a peer-to-peer exchange, not betting against the house, betting against other folks out there. So check it out, Profit X, promo code VSiN. All right, we are heading up to the TPC Twin Cities here for the 3M. It's a par 71. 7,431 yards. We got bent grass greens. We got rough that's about 4 inches. It's a mix of bluegrass and fescue. 72 different bunkers. Water is in play on 13 different holes, but that includes 27 different bodies of water. So some holes have multiple water hazards out there on this one. Average green size about 6,500 square feet. And despite the fact, which is kind of a weird deal, which I guess lets you know how often these guys are either clubbing down or just being very conservative off the tee. Despite all that water out there, Kelly, they hit fairways at 63% of the time, which is actually 1% above tour average here at this course. Lets you know the fairways, 1, are at least a little bit generous, and 2, that dudes are taking it seriously here. Long par 4s average about a little over 200 yards. They're going to be some of the tougher ones out there. The par 4s, the 3 toughest holes on the course are right all in the front 9, 2, 3, and 9, and then the par 5s, of course, like usual, are the 3 easiest holes on the entire course as we head to this one that Johnny Vegas won last year.
Yeah, this is, look, guys are going to go low. This is always the what do we have? Well, this is the last one, right, before we start playoffs? Or 2 more? One of the last ones before we start here. So, look, you get it's a little bit softer field. You get everybody that's coming back over from the Open, played in the Scottish Open as well. This is going to be an interesting tournament. Obviously, we'll have a lot more on long shots coming up. We'll have a lot more tomorrow once you and I dive.
Because it's not top-heavy.
It is
Finally.
not. It is not top heavy, but you do have some guys. I mean, that we have been targeting. I mean, Burns got her up at the top. No surprise to me. No surprise to me that Grazerman's only a few guys down too. Putting three golfers that have put together really, really quality statistical profiles here recently. Thorbornson at 35-1 jumps out to me as well. I think it's going to be an interesting tournament coming up this weekend. Yeah, you look here and it's, there's still some decent numbers on, air quote name players. We've got Pendrith at 35, Akshay Bhatia at 40, Kurt Kitayama sitting out there at 40 and stuff like that as well, Kelly. So, they're probably going to be a decent little mid-tier for us this week, would be my guess. Yep. Hour number 2 coming back here. Let's talk some AFC South. What bets do we have in our account? What bets are out there and maybe lurking to be made? AFC South, when we come back.
Introducing the $500 trifecta. Use your GBank Visa signature credit card within 3 months of account opening and